Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yoon Jung-min. The Israel-Hamas conflict, now 1 month since the October 7th attack, shows little signs of dialing down. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has once again made it clear that Israel opposes a ceasefire as he discussed a tactical pause with U.S. President Joe Biden for humanitarian reasons. Eun-hee starts our coverage.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has so far made it clear that Israel will not support a ceasefire, rejecting U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken's proposal last week for a humanitarian pause unless the hostages are released. On Monday, U.S. President Joe Biden and Netanyahu had talks over a so-called tactical pause for humanitarian reasons, as well as to try to secure the release of the hostages held by Hamas. The White House said that Biden and Netanyahu have agreed to continue their discussions in the coming days, with Reuters reporting that U.S. National Security Coordinator John Kirby said the conversation was at the beginning stage, not the end. Shortly after the U.S. once again pressured Israel for a humanitarian pause, Netanyahu, in an interview with ABC News, reaffirmed his rejection of holding a temporary pause in the Gaza Strip.
Well, there will be no ceasefire, general ceasefire in Gaza without the release of our hostages. As far as tactical little pauses, an hour here, an hour there, we've had them before. I suppose we'll check the circumstances in order to enable goods, humanitarian goods to come in, or our hostages, individual hostages to leave.
Netanyahu also told ABC that he expects Israel will have the overall security responsibility in Gaza once the war ends. This statement followed anchor David Moore's question, addressing the earlier statement by President Biden, saying it would be a mistake for Israel to occupy Gaza and who should govern Gaza after the war is over.
I think Israel will, for an indefinite period, will have the overall security responsibility because we've seen what happens when we don't have it.
1 month into the Israel-Hamas battle, where does American leadership stand in terms of recent conflicts in Middle Eastern nations?
In my opinion, United States leaderships are somewhat working right now because that is the only reason that Israel started the low-profile military operation. The reason why Israel had started those kind of military tactic is because they really want to reduce the collateral damage and the civilian casualty, like United States requested.
However, the professor added that there are clear discrepancies between the Biden administration and the Israeli government in terms of post-war responsibilities. While Biden does not want an Israeli occupation of the Gaza Strip, it seems that Israel thinks that this is the only way to get rid of Hamas's forces and therefore will occupy the area at least temporarily. Eun-hee, Arirang News.